Subject number 12. Test 71B. Electrode placement A2. Stimulation of amygdala, seat of emotion and memory allocation. The fear center of the brain.
If you only knew how satisfying that look on your face is. Did you actually think if you locked me away, I would just cease to exist? Out of sight, out of mind. You did. You did. Didn't you? Oh, you were never out of my mind. I hope you're proud of yourselves.
So, the first time I went through this, I'm not going over there. Maybe on my third game through, my New Game Plus Plus, if you will, I'll go over there, but I'm not going over there. I've never noticed that guy before. Going down that hall. Didn't even look like a regular person. I need my axe. I dropped my axe around here. Here it is. Axe is handy. Oh, so... Next time I play through this, I'm gonna go over there. Maybe I'll put in an annotation later. I won't remember. It'll be like months later, maybe. There's a random dead person there trying to scare us, score us. It's weird. But the first time I did that brain puzzle, I had no idea what to do. Like, I was so lost, dazed, and confused. I wasn't quite sure. I'm just gonna check through everything, see if everything's loaded, just to make sure. So, yeah, I was confused. I didn't know what to do, so I had to look it up. And watching back on all this, it's so obvious. I just need to listen. I'm so used to my action-y shooter games and quick RPG games that I didn't stop to listen. That guy comes alive, so try to sneak and rush in there and burn him up. Save you some ammo, use a match.
Maximum frequency stimulation of cortical regions has proven less than effective. The subjects scream and scream, but they die much too quickly. Tailored settings achieve better results. The only question that remains is which regions to focus on. Fear, consent, trust, envy. 3 of these are pivotal. But which will open the way?
Boom! That guy is why I saved that axe. The mask of him... Oh, jeez. Good job. His mask is why I saved the axe. Because he will soak up bullets. The mask acts as some sort of, like, a defense. Also, 2 out of 3. You're done with the upstairs. Don't have to worry about that. Some backstory about him. Castellanos, his daughter died in a fire. If you don't know, his daughter died in a fire, and his wife, Castellanos' wife, the mother of the daughter, obviously, tried to look for what happened, and ended up disappearing. You knew what? Please.
Don't you think you should use your green gel?
Green gel. Funny enough, people call it bile. I call it green gel. I like the idea of calling it green gel better than bile, because it's kind of assumed that this stuff's being injected into your head. Also, look at that picture there on the left. The painted. Yeah. The keeper. Speed activation time. This story doesn't have enough... Well, this game doesn't have enough story, rather. Like, the only story there is in the collectibles, and you need to go out and find them sometimes. That's not how you tell a story, guys. Also, kudos for 4 gels at once. Woo! That's a lot of points to upgrade. You don't tell a story to a game, especially a new game in a franchise, that you know there's going to be a franchise, through collectibles. That's not how you do it. That's just wrong. And of course, they spent so much time making the game like, oh, it's such a, look at this fucking your mind, such a mind fuck. Everything's so weird and crazy. What's happening? Is any of this even real? They spent so much time and money making that instead of focusing towards the story. Like, the only two characters that get backstory is the only three characters that really get backstory is Castellanos in the form of documents, and that's, come on, we're video games. You can't assume we're gonna read a lot. Ruvik, mainly in this chapter, not really anywhere else but this chapter, and Lady Detective Kidman. She only gets a little bit of backstory later on in some later chapters. Actually, in a couple of the last chapters. But most of her backstory comes from the DLC. Also, big negative, you don't tell backstory of a major crucial character through DLC, because that's cheap and nasty and gross. So of course I bought it all on pre-order and the season pass. I can never tell. This is an achievement for hitting someone with a bottle and then stealth killing them. I don't know how to do it. 2 shots is not bad though. But yeah, you don't tell major character backstory. Backstory of a major character. Kidman's a pretty major hitter in this game, even though it's not really implied. You don't really know. Like, you probably think Joseph's more important than her, even though some stuff later on in the last few chapters kind of hint towards she being really important to everything that's going on. But that story's been told in the backstory. So, creepy laughter is creepy. Oh, no matter where it is in the game. But I firmly believe optional creepiness is way creepier than mandatory creepiness. What I mean by that is, you need to go along this path, like I thought what we're about to do. If you see that safe there, that's where our 2 dolls go for. I thought it was like some kind of secret area for collectibles and a bunch of extra stuff to upgrade your character. No, one of the 3 puzzles is back there. I thought this was like a big mansion place, but it was really, a few areas. So Castellanos, jump scare. Castellanos remembers those codes so you don't have to. Kind of like Nostalgia Critic. He remembers the code so you don't have to enter it yourself, even though I would have liked to, just to add a little more interaction to the game.
Subject number 14, test 88C, limbic priming, temp 3, electrode placement C4, stimulation of the singular cortex, the Hope Center. Assailing the Hope access improves domination of the subject's will, but domination isn't enough.
The hospital has not received the family's usual donation this year.
And why would they? Has the hospital been doing anything worthy of donation?
The Victoriano family has always been a generous contributor. Where are your parents?
They have gone away.
When do you expect them?
Is there something you wish to discuss, Doctor?
I came to inform you that the hospital will no longer be able to provide you with assistance. Materials. Your research will very quickly disintegrate.
How dare you come into my home and threaten me?
So if you fail at the puzzles, which by the way, those people are alive, it's probably thought that maybe they're the souls of the people Ruvik tested on, specifically for those certain things. Dad, take that red wine. He tested those certain people for those certain areas, which is why they're those certain puzzles. They become those certain puzzles. But I don't know. But if you fail, you just get zapped a little. It's fine. You don't die or anything, thankfully. Although considering a lot of the other stuff in the game, I'm surprised you don't instant die. You don't make a game scary by having a lot of instant kill things. You make it annoying.
Slice clean, all the way. No cure for what I'm going to do to you. Peel pristine skin. Thoughts from the mines.
Ruvik?
Of course, by what I mean, no Ruvik, no blue screen Ruvik. So, I'm guessing these are blood cells, or some kind of, maybe rose petals, but most likely blood cells considering everything that is happening. So follow them, of course, why not? We're nearing very closely to the end of the chapter. The hard part is over, the mansion, with the appearing Ruvik. I like that. I would have liked it if, like, when he caught you, you kind of have to just, he slowly drains your health, but you have to kind of get rid of him in a grasp, like some kind of force choke, instead of goddamn insta-kill. A little bit of foreshadow of what's about to happen, but also kind of foreshadowing about, like, the foreshadowing for the chapter alone, like, mechanic in the chapter that's about to happen in like 2 seconds, and some story in the rest of the chapter. Big blood cell giant man dude, you kind of want to run away from that. This area, I swear there were more wires the first time I played this, last time I played this, actually. But you want to take it slow, you can't run, so don't worry about that. Take it slow, don't worry about collecting the items, it's not worth it. I mean, you might be able to get some of them, like that gel over there. I think the only way to get it is to get it and then double back the way it just came. Don't worry about it. If you hit any of the wires, the ceiling lowers more, and you can't run. Like, I was just able to run there because I was done with it. You can't run during it, so if it lowers, you're pretty much screwed. Also, what the hell? Dude, help me. This is giant mannequin dolls. I don't know what to do. They're all staring at me. That one looks like a dog on the side there. This really creeps. Oh, get it? Locked camera angles, like the Resident Evils. So mannequins was kind of hinted at in this game. Both in the loading screens and like during pre-release, sorta. As being like this big thing. Like a pretty important thing, a mechanic and plot in the game. It's not. Also, I'm surprised he didn't insta-kill me there. Usually, if he catches you, he just one-hit kills you, like half the other shit in the game. But he didn't, thankfully. Thankfully. Just took a little off the top. Maybe he just wasn't close enough. That sucks, by the way. But yeah, mannequins aren't, like, they're only in the game a couple points, like that point, and I guess these guys, they really, like, they're not really that important. Like, he never played with mannequins or practiced with mannequins. I mean, what do they interpret? The perfect modelness of his sister that he kind of wanted to get with? I mean, there's one there in his little study place, but it doesn't really mean much of anything.
Why was I led here?
Because the event that's about to occur, witnessed before you, actually kind of has a correlation to Corleone. No, Castellanos. Sorry, getting confused. I apologize if this looks a little weird. It shouldn't. It should look good quality. Also, I wish there was stuff in the field. I don't know if there is. I don't want to go through and look because I don't have time for that. No one has time for that.
I know you're in here. I can hear you breathing.
Rich bastards think they can buy up all our land.
They need to be shown who really owns these parts.
Hey, I think there's kids in there.
I didn't hear anything. What the?
Somebody, open the door! Reuben! Reuben, you have to climb!
Shit. I better get out of here.
We've heard that scream before. Up there, that's where we need to go. So, dumb, stupid peasants, farmers, decided, oh, we're going to teach them rich folk a lesson by burning the barn. Oh no, a kid's inside. I didn't hear anything. And they caused this hellhole of a tormented mindfuckery of a universe. Because, oh, we're going to get back at them by murdering someone. You don't murder people. You don't do that. Especially a kid of someone. Oh, they bought our land. Now we're not so. Now we're kind of poorish. Let's kill their kids. Oh, you don't fucking do that. Before there is one last thing. We need to burn and kick this hay. Just kick it. Kick it a little more. Yeah. Kick it. Why are we doing this? Because of a key. Now we can't backtrack for to use this key, so we'll just have to wait until the next safe house after the chapter, which is right about not now. Oh, if we'll just we have a bit of a you know when this game was a bit stealthy and kind of survival horror-y. Well, welcome to a boss fight. Don't shoot the guy. Don't worry, it's not worth it. He kind of shoots off little bits of himself in forms of. Alright, just kill me, I guess. In forms of enemies. He kind of takes a piece of him. As in, like, oh, he uses his strength to kind of siphons off bits of himself to spawn enemies, I guess. So what you need to do is just take out the enemies. No, there's no, I need to do a thing to get away from them. There's not like, I can do this thing to get away from them. I can do this thing to stop them. Or I can just fight. No, you just have to fight. This game gets really lazy really quick, and it's starting to get super lazy. Instead of, you know, oh geez, fuzzy, something creative like, you know, Nemesis in Resident Evil 3. That sucks. Nemesis in Resident Evil 3, you could choose to fight him. You would get some bonuses. Like in here, you would think you'd get some gel. There's probably some gel on the floor. Yeah, there's a little bit. You could fight Nemesis to get some parts to your guns to upgrade them. Where you could just run away and not waste ammo, time, and health. So, what do? You usually run away because it's safer. Here, now you just have to fight. There's no escaping from that window. You may have heard a little bit ago, when we got away from him in that cage labyrinth place. But if you get caught there,
You must eat. You've got to keep your strength up.
My children. I want...
there may have been more dialogue there. Probably should have waited. But before in the Labyrinth area, if you got caught by the guy and killed by him, he would scream, "You did this to us." And I'm surprised there's not a secret over this way, because it's locked. Maybe not even New Game Plus, I believe. We'll just crawl back here, and that's the end of the chapter. Yeah, so in case you didn't hear it earlier, he could scream, "You did this to us," implying that we did it to him, even though we never really had a part in it. But it'd be cool if the story somehow made us part of it, saying like an ancestor of ours did it to him, or something. But no, it wouldn't, because that would involve working on the story and plot of the game. We're too busy making the game look like a mindfuck. Oh, it's so creepy and weird, look at these monsters, and things are changing, and scenery, and blah 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 blah. Oh no, we're not creative with how to encounter enemies, so let's just funnel them at you. You'll see that in a later episode, later chapter. But for now, hope you enjoyed. See you for chapter 10 later.